Hello, 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 hello. Good evening. Good evening, good evening. Peace, Brother Chauncey. Nice iced tea. It's your girl Tiffany coming through here live in effect. So tonight topic, I'm continuing with public relation. All right. And getting into the journalism, television network, syndication radio, etc. So tonight I am going to be talking about SN Magazine. So I'm going to be going over reading materials that I have about Essence Magazine, and I'm going to be talking about the founders. Okay. Now, Essence Magazine is popular, but not as popular as how Ebony and Jet used to be. Okay. And also all the other Black magazines, sister magazines, etc. So it's still around. So they have the Essence Awards going on, the Essence Festival. And they also got the Essence Magazine. Now, at one point, it was sold over to a company that was not Black owned. Then is back to the hands of the African American community. So, which that's a great thing. All right. So I'm gonna get into all of that. But thank you guys for subscribing to the channel, hit the notification bell, sharing my videos, and all that great stuff. All right, so I want to go ahead and get started. Get straight to the point. Oh, boy. All right, so the images I have posted up, these are the founders of Essence Magazine, okay? But E. Lewis, which is Edward Lewis, this guy right here in the middle with glasses, he's the main founder. All right. He's the main person that came up with the idea, and everybody else pitched along with it. Okay. So these are the founders. As you can see, they are African American men. All right. That founded the magazines, which is a great thing. That really geared towards African American women and the population. All right. And this is who owns the magazine now. His name, Richard Lowe Dennis. Richard Lowe Dennis is the owner of Sundial Brand. Sundial brand? It's called Sundial Brand. Okay. If you guys heard of Shea Moisture, yeah, his family started that company, Shea Moisture. So now he owns Essence Magazine. He bought it back in 2018. And now it's back on the market which was a great thing. Again, that was a smart business move by him because it gives more opportunity to Blacks to get into the editorial part of it and get into the public relations. So what he did was a great business move. He saved the magazine company. Let's put it like that. Because Essence was on the verge of going downhill like Ebony and Jet. But he made sure that he saved them. All right. So let's go ahead and let's get started. All right. So here it is. This is Essence Magazine. And as you can see, this is a picture of Jill Scott. Okay. So it's a monthly lifestyle magazine covering fashion, beauty, entertainment, and culture. First published in 1970, the magazine is written for African American women. All right. So Edward Lewis, Clarence O. Smith, Cecile Hollingsworth, and Jonathan Blount founded Essence Communication Incorporation in 1968. It began publishing Essence Magazine in May of 1970. Lewis and Smith called the publication a lifestyle magazine directed at upscale African American women. They recognized that Black women were an overlooked demographic and saw Essence as an opportunity to capitalize on a virtually untouched market of Black women readers. Its initial circulation was approximately 50,000 copies per month, subsequently growing to roughly 1.6 million. Gordon Parks, served as its editorial director during the first 3 years of its circulation. Now, for those who may not know who Gordon Parks is, Gordon Parks was a photographer as well. He took a lot of pictures of the events that took place within the civil rights era, within the Black Panther movement, and all the protests that happened during the 70s and 80s and the 60s. He took pictures of those with Dr. Martin Luther King. He took pictures of Malcolm X. It's a long list. So Gordon Parks was responsible for the photography part of it, but he also worked under Essence as an editorial director. Okay. But anyways, in 2000, Time Inc. purchased 49% of Essence Communication Incorporation. 2005, Time Inc. made a deal with Essence Communication Inc. to purchase the remaining 51%. The deal placed the ownership of the 34-year-old Essence magazine, one of the United States leading magazines for women of color, under widespread ownership rather than Black ownership. In January of 2018, the magazine returned to a fully Black-owned publication after its acquisition by Richie Lowe Dennis, the founder of Sundial Brands. All right. So Sundial Brands is a beauty product, for hair and skin. Okay. In 2020, Black Female Anonymous, a group made up of former and possibly current Essence employees, published a Medium article alleging sexual harassment claims against Dennis. Oh, whoa. As well as egregious claims of bullying and mistreatment of employees by members of the C-suite. Following the Medium post, an investigation was launched into the claims. As a result of the coronavirus pandemic, Essence furloughed staff in 2020 after receiving a PPP loan from the government. So furlough is basically giving temporary layoff. So if you're on the furlough, you are temporary layoff. You're not working for a while, okay? But being downside means you permanently laid off, mean that you don't have a job. You're not getting hired back to the company, okay? And so a lot of these big corporations have received PPP loans to keep the business going because the economy was down during that time when the pandemic was taking place, and it affected a lot of businesses and their employees and their staffs. So that's one of the main reasons why. So Essence happened to be the company that received the PPP loans. Okay. All right, so let's look at the contents. In Black Womanhood, Essence and its treatment of stereotypical image of Black women, professors stated that diverse images of Black women are not often included in a white magazine and media, but that those Black women can see themselves in different lights in Essence. The magazine features a section called Celebrity, Fashion, Beauty, Hair, Love, and Point of View. The magazine has covered topics from family to social issues in the African American community, African American women in the military, and being HIV positive. Celebrities including Michelle Obama and the late Whitney Houston have appeared on the cover and been featured in the magazine through interviews and photo spreads. Originally launched primarily as a fashion magazine, Essence has grown to be a guideline for African American women in many aspects of life. Frequent contributors, including current editor-in-chief Vanessa K. DeLucia, provided advice for the business-minded Black woman. Okay. So I'm gonna skip this part about the formatting. Imagery and advertisement. This is very important. Okay, this is one of the reasons why we have to control the narrative when it comes into doing journalism and magazine article and advertisement. We have to control the narrative of our people. All right. So here it is. Essence issues in the early 2000s featured mostly black women models with lighter skin complexions. The magazine then began to include a greater number of models with darker skin complexion. Now, why in early 2000 did Essence magazine only feature mostly light-skinned models? Power off. And I would say why. Here's the reason why they did that. Because they were trying to bring about a marketing. They figured that if they have more light-skinned models up front, then it will bring more marketing to the wider audience. It will be more appealing. But they had the wrong but what they don't know, or what they do know, is that it creates the conflict between dark-skinned women and light-skinned women. And this is where the internalized racism and colorism come into place. Because it created a stereotypical narrative that light-skinned women are much more marketable and better and more valuable than dark-skinned women. And which that creates the problem. Because dark-skinned people feel undervalued and they don't feel like they as marketable. And we already see that in the music industry, where there's light-skinned rappers, females rapping in particularly, that's gaining more recognition than the dark-skinned female rappers out there. I.e., for example, Megan Thee Stallion, very popular. Nicki Minaj and Cardi B, Mulatto, Sweetie, they all gaining popularity because they're light-skinned. So they more marketable. But somebody like Cash Doll, Dej Loaf, Dreezy. Okay, now in the City Girls, they getting a little marketing. They up there, but they not on the level as Megan. But they up there. Okay? But they up there, but they not on that level. But anyways, the other three that I mentioned, they're not gaining as much marketing too. Now, Cash Doll is a very beautiful woman. Very beautiful. Dreezy is very beautiful. Dej Loaf is too. But they not gaining enough marketing. It's not so much of the fact that they don't have talent, because they are very talented people. But the thing is, the marketing is what's more important. How do you go about marketing them? How do you go about pushing them up to the mainstream level? How do you get them in the wider audience? How would they gravitate to them? So again, they were not as appealing as Megan, as Nicki Minaj and Cardi B and all the rest of them. They wasn't as appealing enough. So that's why it was hard for them to get the marketing. That's why you don't hear much from Cash Doll. And if you hear Cash Doll music, it's more on the underground level. You don't hear it from a mainstream level. Have you noticed that? When have you heard, as a matter of fact, when she ever got nominated for an award? She never got nominated. Dej Loaf never got nominated. Dreezy never got nominated. Again, these women are talented. It's just the marketing. See, it's a game they have to play. They have to be able to bring about commercialism, and they were not commercialized enough. It's the commercialism that's bringing the hindrance to these women. You know what I'm saying? So we got to go back to that slavery mindset where that the mentality is still there. The idea is still there. Light skin preference over dark skin preference. But let me go ahead and finish up reading. So yeah, that was the thing with Essence magazines. All right. Then it says, in terms of hair types, long and wavy hairstyles were almost equally represented as short and curly styles. The size of the nose and lips of most of the models were considered average. The bodies of the models were not displayed. When they were thinner and average body types were more likely to be shown than fuller body types. When they were thinner and average, body types were more likely to be shown than fuller body types. Again, that was the game of the marketing business. They were competing with their white counterparts. So in a sense, yeah, they was being a bit Eurocentric. Let's keep it real. But they was doing that because they was in competition with mostly white-owned magazine like Cosmopolitan. And there's so many of them. They was in competition with these people. So they try to make their models look similar to their models and make them look a little more appealing. Because they was trying to draw the attention. They was in competition. They wanted to capitalize. That's the game of capitalism. Capitalism is dealing with what? Competition. All right. Then it goes on to say these observations rose out of a study titled Race and Gender in the Media, a content analysis of advertisement in two mainstream Black magazines. They were then used to comment on what the image practices of SM may say about how Black media represent Black people, chiefly Black women, and how these representations may reflect and reveal larger truths about how Black people themselves. Now, again, representation. So whenever you put out representation and marketing, and you send the message that you send to the people is going to resonate with them, especially when it comes to the younger people, a younger generation. It's going to resonate. It's going to resonate with them more than anybody else. All right. So let's talk about circulation, subscription. The sales was 22%, 78%. Rate base 1,600,000. All right. And then let's go to the Essence Music Festival. So the Essence Music Festival is the nation's largest annual gathering of African American musical talent and has been going on annually since 1994 in New Orleans, bringing more than 400,000 people. The festival is a 3-day event that includes cultural celebration, empowerment seminars, and nights of musical performances. Awards honoring prominent musicians in African American community are celebrated during the festival as well. The festival is held every 4th of July weekend and has featured some of the biggest names in the music, including Prince, Beyonce, Patti LaBelle, Mary J. Blige, Lionel Richie, and others. Then in 2017, Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton made special appearances at the Essence Music Festival. And in 2009, the festival was held in honor of Barack Obama's inauguration and presidency, with Beyonce as the headliner. 2008, after partnering with Essence to develop and tape a co-branded special presentation, Black in America Reclaiming the Dream, CNN reported live on site throughout the music festival weekend. All right. And then in 2016, the first ever associated event to the Essence Festival was announced. Essence Festival Durban, set to take place in Durban, South Africa on September 8th to the 13th. Essence President Michelle E. Banks commented at the time, "This is milestone year for Essence brand as we get ready to bring one of our most beloved events to the heart of South Africa in the coastal city of Durban, which represent an exciting mix of cultures." Okay. Then it says the inaugural inaugural Essence Festival Dubai will bring together voices of influences and power from the continent of Africa, the U.S., and across the globe to connect communities and empower women spanning the diaspora. All right, so, and then it talks about the activism in January 2005. Essence launched a 12-month initiative to combat misogyny in hip hop culture. The campaign, entitled Take Back the Music, was intended to inspire public dialogue about the portrayal of Black women in rap music. Essence also holds a Young Women's Leadership Conference and released a book in 2009 entitled Essence Presents the Black Woman's Guide to Healthy Living. All right, so also it talks about the awards, which was ran by Essence, Black Women in Hollywood Awards. This long-running award event held each February on the Thursday before Oscars began in 2008 and continues to this day. And this ceremony annually honors Black women who have achieved success in Hollywood. All right. Okay, so it got a list of people who done received the awards. All right, so they also have literary awards too, which is held on February 2008 to celebrate both emerged and established African American authors in 9 categories: fiction, memoir, inspiration, nonfiction, current affairs, photography, children books, poetry, storyteller of the year. The honorees were as follows, and there's a list of them at the bottom. Okay, the awards received by Essence. All right, so Susan L. Taylor was one of the editors there. Okay, and Ida Lewis, Ruth Ross, Marcia Ann Gillespie. Okay, so the list goes on and on. But I was not aware about the sexual harassment that was taking place with the current owner. So hopefully that can get fixed and that get taken care of. Because that's the worst thing you want to ever do as a business owner, be charged for sexual harassment towards women. Because that can put your business in jeopardy. So hopefully that dispute is taken care of and settled in court or whatever. Anyways, that's all I have for tonight. That's it. Nothing else. So that pretty much concludes public relation as for now, because there's still more to come. But I'm just going to leave it off for here. But I thank you all for watching. I thank you for your support. And until next time, peace and power elevation be to all of you. And this is your girl, Tiffany. And I am getting ready to log off. So please be safe. All right. All right, then. Deuces.